Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm not gonna waste any time getting into this video. I have been putting off this video for a while and I just really have honestly not really wanted to do it for a lot of reasons, but mainly because I just know, like, as soon as I think about making this video, the very first thing that comes to my mind is all of the comments of just stay positive, or this is gonna pass, or it's gonna go so short, or why can't you just be grateful, or something about my faith and not being strong, or I don't know. I want to make this video because everything about my channel is being extremely real and glorifying the name of God, and I think that, you know, you can have extremely strong faith and still be a human being who feels things and who goes through hard things and who feels those hard things. And so I don't want, just disclaimer, nothing that I'm gonna say in this video is supposed to be me complaining about the situation. It's just exactly how I'm feeling post-surgery and exactly what my second trimester was like, because it was very unexpected, very unplanned, and a lot. Like, I've been through a lot in the last couple of months, in the entire second trimester, basically. And I want to be real with you guys, and I want to share that with you because you've seen, if you followed my journey, you've seen what's happened up until this point right now, but you might not truly know, actually you don't know exactly how I'm feeling because I haven't just sat down and talked about it yet. And I think that it's important for me to do that because while I do have strong faith and while I am so grateful for so many things, which I'll talk about later, but and I believe that God's hand is so prevalent in this situation, that does not stop these feelings from being real, and that does not stop from this situation from being extremely hard. And this is also not to, if you're thinking about having fetal surgery of any kind for your baby, if they were diagnosed with spina bifida or any type of fetal surgery, I don't want this to be something that scares you or that makes you not want to do it, because I would do this surgery over and over again every single day if I had to for my baby. Everything that I'm gonna say is not as if I wish I wouldn't have, or I wish that the situation would be different. It's just the reality of the situation, and I just think that it needs to be made known. And I honestly can't go on making videos about this journey without addressing this and without being real with you guys in a sit-down video like this, explaining exactly how I'm feeling and explaining the realness of the situation. And there's been so many things that have just been huge blessings, but there have also been days, especially the past week, that I have not been okay. And that's kind of an understatement in saying not been okay. I have been, it's just been really hard. So I just want to talk about the reality of what after surgery looks like and some of the things that I knew was going to happen, but I didn't know how I would feel about them until here I am now. So some of the things that I'm struggling with right now is still pain. So I don't know what the pain is, except for the fact that my doctors, every single time I go see them, say that it's normal, it's nothing to worry about, unless it becomes consistent to the point where I get no relief and it's like hours on hours that it happens. But I get this pain that starts kind of down here and it just shoots all the way up, and it only happens when he is on that side or when he is kicking in a specific spot. And my doctor said that it's probably the incision, one of the incisions that they made on my uterus is one of the areas they worked on the most because he was over on that side when they did the surgery. They said that it's probably just him being under that incision and it being super sore and still tender, obviously, because even though I'm a month out, it was a hole on my uterus. But they promised me that it's fine, except if it gets worse or is, doesn't stop type of thing. And that's probably been one of the hardest things, bodily wise, is the pain that I'm still having. I know that like I'm sitting here now and I like it look fine or whatever, but I can't even explain to you the depth and the severity of this pain when it happens. It's terrifying, honestly, terrifying. It's terrifying to every person who is involved or who is there with me, because I can't control my body. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I mean, I don't even know how to explain to you other than it feels like something inside of me is trying to rip out of me. That's a very good like explanation, actually. Like something is actually ripping out of me. And the other thing bodily is acid reflux. So I have to take this medication called Procardia, and it's actually blood pressure medication, but they use it for stopping contractions, and I hate it with a flaming passion. I hate this drug. It makes me feel so horrible, so horrible. It makes my heart race. It makes me dizzy. It makes me feel like faint and lethargic, and it's just blah. It makes me feel so gross. But the worst thing about it is that I have such bad acid reflux with it, because it's literally called a calcium channel blocker, that I can't lay down, I can't breathe. And one day it got so bad that I was like throwing up all day, because if you know what acid reflux feels like, it's just like this burning right here, and I couldn't eat, so it was just like every few minutes I would just go throw up. If I'd try to drink water, I'd go throw up. And it got so bad that my nurse, who's kind of like the person who's been with me throughout this whole thing, was like, you need to go to the hospital right now, because if you've been throwing up all day and can't even keep liquids down, dehydration can send you into preterm labor. So I had to go to triage in the hospital and get an IV fluid to like help hydrate me, basically. And I have this beautiful, I don't know if you can see that, this beautiful, oh, that one's better. I did have this huge scar right here where they blew up my vein. And I know you have normal acid reflux when you're pregnant, like that's just something that happens, but this is like a whole new level of acid reflux because of this medication. So we're definitely praying for that every single day, because I get like 3 hours of sleep at night because I can't lay down flat, and I also can't sleep with my pillows being propped up. So it's kind of a situation. Another thing that's happened is that, again, I went to the hospital and triage because I had to get IV fluids, like I said, but I also went to the hospital just last week because I thought that I was having continuous contractions, and I've never been pregnant before. I don't know what contractions feel like, and my stomach always feels tight right now because just of the surgery and kind of the soreness and the pain that I'm still having a little bit. I don't necessarily know how to distinguish just him moving between a contraction, and they said that even if you are having contractions, that it's like a specific number that you can't go over, and a number is like, if I have like 5 in an hour, it's fine, but if I go over 6 in an hour, it's not fine. And I felt like I was having like 8 an hour, and I also thought I was leaking fluid. So Craig took me to the hospital again, and I got monitored for contractions. I got checked out if I was leaking for fluid, and they said neither of those things were happening. At least then. They said if they are happening, it's not that big of a concern right now because the contractions aren't doing anything to my cervix, and there's no signs of leakage of fluid or ruptured membranes. So they said I was fine as of right now, just go home and monitor it, type of thing. Something that's terrifying throughout this entire thing is the daily possibility of preterm labor and membrane separation. So preterm labor can happen at any time, and in my situation, if preterm labor happens, I just go to the hospital and they would probably give me magnesium and some other things to stop it or to help it slow down so that I don't go into full labor. But membrane separation is something that I can't control. It's something that I can't stop. And basically what it is my uterus, the water sac that the baby is in separates from the uterine wall, and I would have to be hospitalized for the rest of my pregnancy on extremely strict bed rest. And that hasn't happened yet, and it's been a month. Thanking Jesus for that one, but I will tell you how scary it is that every single day I wake up with the possibility of having either of those things happen. And I have an ultrasound every single week to monitor the separation, monitor my fluid to see if there's any rupture or anything like that. And every time I go to those ultrasounds, I pray so hard beforehand, because it is terrifying to have to lay on that thing and the doctor or the ultrasound tech not say anything the entire time that they're looking around in my belly, and then have to wait till the end where they tell me, yes, you do have ruptured membranes, or no, you don't. And so far it's been no, but it's a terrifying thing to have to go through, and it's incredibly important every single day that this baby stays in the womb, because every day matters. Like, today matters, tomorrow something more develops in him, the next day something more develops in him. So the more or the longer that he stays in there, the better chance that he has. And I'm 28 weeks right now, I'll be 29 weeks on Monday, and I just pray every day, and Craig and I pray every day, that this baby just stays in there for as long as possible. Now I'm going to talk about just a little bit of things that are real feelings for me, and I know that some people are going to disagree with my feelings, and they're going to want to comment and say, well, this is what happened to me, and you know, your situation isn't as bad as mine, or be grateful, or stay positive, or whatever. And I greatly appreciate those comments, but I just need you to know that these are my feelings, and I'm trying not to let my feelings guide my faith, like trying really hard not to, but this is just the reality of the situation again. So I am really, really sad that I will not be in my own home or my hometown for the holidays. The holidays are my favorite time of year. I literally look forward to Christmas and Thanksgiving the entire year. And it's just a really special time for me. Like, I get so giddy. I'm in the best possible mood because I get to decorate for Christmas. It's just, everybody's jolly all the time. You can go look at Christmas lights, you can go do all of those things, and I'm not saying I can't do those things here, because we are decorating for Christmas and we can go see lights and all those things. Not being able to be with my friends, not being able to go to my church or my small group or see my friends on a regular basis, it's just really hard. Like, I have such a huge, strong community back home, and I'm so grateful that they are reaching out to me every day and asking how I am and praying for me, but it's just not the same when you can't be with them. And even my animals. I know that sounds probably really silly, but I miss them so much. Craig FaceTimes me every time he gets home and shows me Donut, our cat, and then Craig, I'm very, very grateful that I get to see Craig during the weekends, but not being able to see him during the weeks and him having to miss all of my ultrasounds because they're all scheduled for Tuesday and I can't really change those appointments, or I don't know if I can. Very testing. One of the biggest things I'm struggling with is feeling like a burden to the people who are staying with me. It is incredible the sacrifice that my family and Craig's family have made to come stay with me for the week, or the days that Craig can't be here during the week, because they are huge sacrifices. Like, my family works, his family works, but I can't be alone because if something happens, I'm 40 minutes away from the hospital and I couldn't drive myself. So somebody has to stay with me all the time, and it's just like constantly having people come and go and feeling like a burden to them because I can't do anything. Like, I can get out and go maybe one place, but my body can't do a lot right now, and I know that there's a limit. I can't pass that limit, and I know that it's so boring for them to have to sit and just watch TV all day, all week, or whatever. Like, I just don't want to be a burden to them, and I know that I'm not. It's just a fear that I have, and a thing that I'm struggling with, that I just want to, like, be with them and do things with them, but at the same time I know that like 90% of the time I just need to lay in this bed and do nothing because my body needs to rest and recover. And I know my limit, and I know when I'm getting to the point where I just know I need to do nothing. it's been a very hard adjustment. And that's the other thing, is that my time with God right now is like very different. I don't have a routine. It's very hard for me to just find time to sit down and get into my Bible. Not because I don't have the time, but just because there are so many things going on all the time, or I'm in so much pain that I can't like read something and like really feel like I'm getting anything out of it. And also, it's just hard to get into a routine when you're in a situation like this. And that has not stopped my relationship with God at all. It's just not been the way that I've wanted it to be, and like growth and stuff, which I know that I'll get there. It's just like I need to forgive myself basically for not being perfect or not doing the things that I wanted to do. But it's just, I wanted to spend way more time with God than I am. And I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Another huge thing is not being able to be intimate with Craig. And that might be TMI, but it shouldn't be. I'm on what's called like pelvic rest, which basically means that we cannot be intimate or have sex until 6 weeks after the baby's born, which is 22 weeks from the time that I had the surgery until 6 weeks after he's born. And basically because it can send me into preterm labor. And if you're a married person, you know how hard that probably is, to not be able to be intimate with your spouse for that long when you're with them on the weekends. And yeah, that's just not easy, like, ever. So that's been another thing that's just like, how do I do that? How do I get through that? And another thing is, you know, just all the things you do when you're pregnant with your first baby and you have, you know, no complications or nothing like this happen in your pregnancy, and you go through your pregnancy and you get to nest and you get to go and, you know, like clean everything in your house because you're getting ready for the baby to come, and you get a baby shower. I probably won't have a baby shower because all my friends are 3 hours away, and it's just really impractical to drive six hours within a day to have a baby shower for me. So just the reality of not being able to have that. It's probably really annoying to see me cry on camera. I'm sorry. Also, not being able to work out. Not being able to move my body when I am a very active person, and even though I'm on modified bed rest, so, you know, I'm not strictly in this bed all the time. I can get up and walk around for no more than 15 minutes. I still can't exercise. I can't even really do stretches right now at this point because my body's still healing. I think eventually I can get to a point where I can do that, but right now it's a hard no. You know, just being on Instagram and trying not to compare my situation, but seeing all these pregnant women working out and taking care of their bodies in the way that I would like to take care of my body right now. It's just, you know, Craig's at the gym right now, and I love that he still gets to go to the gym, but that's really hard to have to sit here while he goes and has a really good workout, and I just get to sit here. And the last thing that I'm struggling with is that I am never alone. But even though I'm never alone, I feel so lonely. And I think part of that is because I am not like investing enough in my relationship with God right now like I would want to be, because I think part of it is just like feeling separated from God a little bit, maybe. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm just trying to figure out a little bit like what's going on. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel really lonely. I just feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I could have somebody in the next room who's with me, and I still feel so lonely in this. And maybe it's because people are coming and going and they get to go back to their life. They don't have to stay here for the entire 3 months. I don't know what it is. It's just, I just feel really lonely right now, and I'm really struggling with that. And again, if you have opinions that are unaligned with my feelings, then that's fine, but I'm just saying this is the reality of the things that I've been struggling with and trying to work through this situation, because it's a very uncomfortable situation. But I do want to end this video with just saying some things that I am truly grateful for, because like I said, I don't want this video to just be me complaining. I am so grateful for so many things, and I'm so grateful that the Lord has given me the strength up until this point, and He will continue to give me the strength to work through this, and that He has allowed me to be the mother to this baby and to go through all of this, because I wouldn't wish it any other way. Because I know that my son is going to be born knowing how hard his mom fought for him, and knowing that this is all so worth it to give him the best chance possible. Some things that I'm grateful for is the fact that I'm not on strict bed rest. I've talked to a lot of women who have been on strict bed rest for like as long as 3 months or longer in their pregnancy, and I cannot physically imagine that. So I'm very grateful that I'm not on strict bed rest, and I can get up and I can go out maybe once a week to do something other than like my appointments and stuff, and that's been so helpful to be able to do that. So I definitely thank God for that every day. Also, being able to see Craig every week. Again, some people go through this journey and they have to relocate and they don't see their spouse ever because their spouse has to work and they can't come down or come up or whatever, come to see them. And so the fact that I get to see Craig for even just like 2 days on the weekend is such a blessing, and I never take that for granted. I literally look forward to him coming back to me every single day that he's not here. I'm also grateful that there has been no uterine separation and no preterm labor this far, and I believe that that will stay the same until 38 weeks. We're praying so hard every day that I make it to that 38-week mark and that I have this baby full term. A huge one is the sacrifice of my family and Craig's family, who have stopped their lives or put their lives on hold for a week or a couple weeks at a time to come be with me. Because even though I know that's not easy for them either, to leave all that and to be here and to see me in pain, or to know the extent of the situation and know that this is not ideal, but it is what has to happen. And they've just been so comforting, and so it's just been really cool to see my family be so humble and be so sacrificial in this time for me and Craig and for this baby, and I will never ever take that for granted or forget about that. Also, the thousands and thousands of people praying for us daily. There's not a day that goes by that I don't get a message on Instagram or Facebook or from one of my family members who has a friend who says that they're praying for me and for Craig and for the baby. We're so covered in prayer that it's almost overwhelming, but in the best way possible. And so knowing that we're so covered in prayer and that there are people who don't know us at all praying for us on a daily basis is 100% also giving us the strength to walk through this season. Obviously, one of the biggest ones I'm thankful for is for a completely successful surgery and for a very, very, very healthy baby who doesn't stop moving, who doesn't stop kicking. That in itself is the most important thing, right? That all of this is for this baby so that he can be healthy and that he can come to this world as healthy and as thriving as possible. And so the fact that he is, after all that he's been through the past month, is incredible. Another thing I'm grateful for is the medical team who did my surgery and the hospital who's taking care of my after surgery care and all the appointments and the checkups and stuff. Cincinnati Children's Hospital is a miracle working hospital, and I can say that with full assurance that if you ever have to go to Cincinnati for any reason and you are thinking about fetal surgery or taking your child there for any reason, that is the best possible place to take your children. And my doctors who did my surgery and who followed up with me, they are so caring and so compassionate, not just about your child, but about you and your health and your mental health. It's just really, really cool to experience that and just the way that they care and are compassionate. I'm so, so, so grateful that we had the ability to be so close to Cincinnati to go there and have this surgery done. So back to the family thing, it's just like their willingness to try to make this season as comfortable and as normal for me as possible, even in the most uncomfortable, abnormal circumstances. By, like, my mom bought us a Christmas tree and she's bringing it up here this week to decorate the house for Christmas, so that I still get, you know, a little bit of Christmas in here, a little bit of Christmas spirit. And Craig's parents and my parents, like, coming the first half, Craig's parents coming the first half of Thanksgiving week and my parents coming the second half of Thanksgiving week to, you know, just spend time with us, even though we won't have a Thanksgiving meal and I won't be with my entire family like normal. Just their willingness to still come and to still do that with us is something that they're just so sacrificial. It's humbled me so much, and I'm so grateful for that. And the last thing that I'm grateful for, which is not the last thing, but the last thing that I really want to say that I'm grateful for, is the ability and the option to have a natural vaginal delivery. That's, again, one of the reasons why we chose fetoscopic surgery, and the fact that my doctors are even, like, promoting that I do that and, like, urging me to do that is so, so cool that I get the option, because I know some women don't. And so, yeah, just that in itself, the thought of bringing this baby into the world in that way, no matter what happens, even if, you know, I'm not able to deliver vaginally, which I don't think will happen, but just the pure, like, option that I have to do that is incredible. And I hope that you don't watch this video and think, like, oh my gosh, this girl is so ungrateful, or this girl has no faith, or is so weak, or whatever. You can think whatever you want, but I knew that I would struggle with stuff in this, but I didn't know how much I would struggle until I got here. And so every day I'm just trying to look at the list of all the things that I have to be grateful for, rather than all the things that I don't get or I don't have in this season, in this pregnancy, and just be extremely, extremely thankful that I am even still here, and that my baby is thriving, and that my husband and I's marriage is thriving. I'm a human being and I have human feelings, but again, I'm just not letting my feelings move my feet. I'm letting my faith move my feet, and letting my faith move my heart in the direction of just choosing gratefulness and choosing to remain positive. And yeah, it's just, you know, there are the days where I wake up and I'm like, I need every bit of strength that you can give me today, Lord, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without you today. I've never been more humble than in my life than I have been by just the love outpour that complete strangers have given us in this time. Like, you guys, the YouTube family and my Instagram family, is also helping me get through this season, and helping Craig and I get through this season, because you are reminding me every day that this baby is a world changer, and that he is encouraging your faith, and that you want to see victory in this story too. And I just, like, couldn't ask for anything more than that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you guys are doing for us, everything you guys are saying over us. Yeah, we just love you so much. So I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to love God, love yourself, and love people. Bye.